Satheesh, for honoring our invitation to deliver a motivational speech.
Thank you, Amali ma'am,
And thank you,
to
sir.
introduce our chief guest. Now I'm going to hand over the session to Pavithra madam.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah,
Mohan sir. Thank you, Amali
thank
ma'am,
you.
for
Thank
the
you.
detailed introduction about me. So before I go on, just wanted to check on a few things from my end. Is my audio clear?
Yes,
Is my
your
audio
Yes,
audio
clear
is
to
yes,
you?
clear.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. And my video? Yeah.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fine. That's great. Okay. So before I go on, instead of me alone, putting on my video or switching on my video, if some of you could turn on your videos, it'll be easy for us to interact, and it'll be easy for us to get involved, because I always feel in personal bonding instead of going on this virtual mode. Because of COVID, we are all into this virtual mode. But I'm the last person for this. I always prefer a in-person or person-to-person bonding here. Thank you so much. I'm not compelling you. I know we have bandwidth issues here and there, so I completely understand. That's not a problem. Thank you so much. I think Amali ma'am and Mohan sir have given a big introduction about me. But dear students, see, I was also a student like you all in Valliammai Engineering College way back in 2006. So please don't calculate my age, okay? So, and it was a very memorable years, years of my life. 4 years in the engineering college, and with friends, and then focusing on your career side by side. It was a wonderful journey. I think every one of you would relate to. So do enjoy every moment in this college life, because it cannot be bought back. I think all the professors over here, they would also cherish the moment being in college. So that's a very sweet phase of your life. So do enjoy every moment of it. Um, let's get on to this session. So I prefer the session to be very much interactive. I do not want a lecturing mode here. We already have so many beautiful lecturers in this bridge. So I'm not a lecturer. So I'm a friend of yours, probably a senior friend of yours. So I would prefer an interactive mode. So you can stop me wherever you feel like you want to contribute something, add to my comments, or add to my views. Or if you have any clarifications, or if you have any doubts, that also you can raise it out. I think we have a raise a hand option there in this team, where you can click that, and you can raise it off. Come on, let's get to start use this team really well, because if you get on to corporate tomorrow, this is going to be your interface. Whether you interact with your team members, or whether you're going to interact with your customers, clients, whomever you call it, so Teams is going to be the interface where you're going to interact with. So let's get on to this, using this Teams effectively. Okay, so let me begin. See, this is a talk when Mohan sir contacted me a few days back, about this, that I have to do a motivational talk. So I was just thinking through. So what is that I should say? So some takeaway that I should give it to you people, so that you take it as a life lesson for you. See, more or less, that is going to be my learned experiences, which I have learned over the past years of life. But 12, 15 years in the corporate industry. So how I have failed you. So this session will be more or less the reflection of all my experiences, all my interactions, and all my people around me, whomever I have interacted, or whomever I have worked with. So that will be basically the reflection of all these now. Okay, so let me get on to the session with a very simple presentation and more of jolly talks. Okay, so that you get to learn and also enjoy this session. Okay, so I appreciate you all interact more, so that we don't feel bored and spend this 1 hour of learning effectively. Okay, so with that, taking as a promise, let me begin the session to you all. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay. Just give me a minute. Okay. Is my screen visible? Is my screen visible? Amali ma'am, Mohan sir?
No,
It's
Pavithra.
not
So
visible.
no, Pavithra.
Not visible? Okay. Not sure what happened.
You are in present is mode only, ma'am.
Okay. It's not yet visible? No?
No, your photo only
No,
is
no,
visible.
no. Slide is
Okay.
not visible.
I don't know what's happening there. Even now it is not happening?
No,
No,
ma'am.
Pa.
Okay, okay. Just give me a minute. I'll just. I'm sorry, there is some issues. I think now I'm not able to present. There is a issue with the sharing. Only meeting organizers and presenters can share it, please.
Ma'am, you are in present is mode only.
But it is grayed out for me, sir. Okay, just give me a moment. I don't know what's there.
Otherwise, ma'am, otherwise you send the your PPT to me. I will present. I will show to present the. I make it the present is mode.
Sure. Okay. Wait. Yeah.
Pavithra, you are using app for
No,
web
I'm not
browser.
using app. I'm using web browser because app, I have my office thing there.
Ma'am, now you check, ma'am.
Okay, now it's coming out. It's coming now?
No, Pavithra.
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. So, okay. Sir, I will send that thing to you, PPT to you.
Okay.
Just give me a minute. Sorry for this. Sir, I've sent it to you on WhatsApp.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, are you sharing it?
Yes, ma'am, I shared.
Okay.
Ma'am, it's shared, ma'am.
Loading up. Yes, yes. You can put on to presenters mode, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just ask for control. I think if we can, no, because of that. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, so this is about how do you discover yourself, and this 1 hour of learning that you are going to explore on how do you find yourself and how do you make the best use of yourself. Can we move on to next slide, sir? Okay, so here, can anyone just quickly unmute and tell me what it is? I think most of us know, but can you just tell me what it is?
Student, please respond.
யாராவது ஒருத்தர் சொல்லுங்க அது என்ன அனிமல் அது? I think எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியும். We all know.
Student, try to respond.
Tortoise.
Tortoise, that's great. Okay, so tortoise, what is the speciality of it? It has got a shell, right? Or a cover madri it has got, right? That shell makes it to protect from its enemies. That is the purpose of having this shell. Okay, shell can be good, but imagine if that shell itself is becoming your protective cover so that you are not able to explore or you're not able to come out of it. Okay, shell was given by the nature to protect itself from the enemy or from the predator. But imagine if that shell itself is going to be your enemy. Most of the cases we land in similar problems. நம்ம என்ன நம்ம இதை நமக்கு எது ப்ரொடெக்டிவா இருக்குன்னு நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கோமோ that itself will become our enemy, where we will not explore out of it. We will just settle in our comfort zone. You don't want to come out of it. Okay, so sir, can you move on? Once the next
Yes.
next click. Yeah, so that is where you see that we don't have a discovery. You're not able to discover yourself. See the other end, you see a small chick coming out of the egg. It breaks open and it comes. Okay, see, both of them are inside the shell only. The tortoise is also inside the shell and the chick is also inside the shell. But the shell where the tortoise is there, okay, it always stays inside that. It doesn't want to come out of the shell. Wherever it goes, it carries the shell with it. End result is it is not able to come out of it. It is not able to establish itself. So that is the reason that instead of being like a tortoise, you have to break open your shell. You have to break open your whatever inhibitions, challenges. Okay, the fear, whatever that you call it as. Now I just asked someone to ask, I just prompted a question now, but we all had that fear. ஐயோ என்ன நினைச்சிடுவாங்களோ, ப்ரொஃபசர்ஸ்லாம் இருக்காங்களே, லெக்சரர்ஸ்லாம் இருக்காங்களே, நம்மள ஏதாவது சொல்லிடுவாங்களோ. Break open that shell. Okay, that is the main enemy for you all. Not only for you all, it is there with everybody. That first minute hesitation is a big problem that we all have. That if you don't have that spontaneity, you will not be able to thrive in the corporate market, because there are so many graduates who graduate and come after 3 years or 4 years of graduation or engineering, whatever you call it as. So there'll be so many thousands of people who will graduate and come. When you graduate, from 2 years, in 2 years from now, you will all graduate and come. So simultaneously, your batchmates, your college mates, your schoolmates, everybody will graduate with some or the other same point in time, and they all will come out. And how will you ensure that you are special? How will you show that you are not just one among the crowd, but you're just one in the crowd? Or how will you show that you are standing out in the crowd? Okay, unless you break open your comfort zone, unless you're ready to take a risk of coming out of your shell, you will not be able to discover what you are or who you are. and how are you going to thrive in this competitive world. So always break open that fear and be confident and bold. It's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. Doesn't matter. Okay. Nobody will think you are silly. You see, everybody, they have the right to make mistakes. We all have a lifespan of 70, 80 years, on a maximum extent, I'm telling you, considering the medical conditions that we have. Okay. In the 70, 80 years, if you are not ready to take the risk, then when will you take? Okay. So ensure that, you break open that shell and come out and emerge yourself. Mohan sir, next.
Yes.
So self-discovery is nothing but it is finding you. This previous slide. Sir. Okay. So self-discovery is nothing but it is actually finding you and being you. It is not like tortoise. It's like chick coming out of the shell, breaking out your limitations, breaking out your challenges and emerging fresh. So that is how you're all going to do. After 2 years, from now, you're going to break open your shell. From the college life, you're all going to enter the corporate world. Whatever industry that you get onto the core industry, you get onto IT industry, any industry you consider, okay, it doesn't matter. But you're going to get onto a different market or a different industry, different domain altogether. So all these while you just have, your responsibilities are defined, your expectations are defined, your commitments are defined, everything is defined. It is all, fed in the form of, agenda, and wherein, you get into the college, learn your concepts, finish your exams, and then you come up qualified, and then you move on to the next level. All these while from school days to college days, you are all in the same, set of things wherein people teach you and then you reciprocate that somewhere and you learn it and reciprocate it, of course. Okay. But going forward, okay, there'll be no spoon feeding. There'll be no agenda there. You will not have any set of exams to complete, or you will not, like, if you complete one set of exams, you will go on to the next year or the next thing. Okay. Or the next stage in life. No, it is not that way anymore. So you all have to start thinking like you're all individuals in 2 years from now. So always ensure that try to, discover yourself. I mean, try to do an introspection. What is called as introspection? Doing a self-analysis. Who you are, what is your strength, what is your weakness, what do you think is your gray area? Gray area meaning area of improvement. All these you'll have to start working on it, because this is the right time. You still have so much time to fix up your gaps, so much time to fix up your gray area, as I said. So try to work on it and keep exploring it. Next slide, sir. Yeah, next slide. Okay. This is a very interesting concept. Okay, if I say the origin, I think you all would be able to more relate it. This is actually related to a Japanese concept called ikigai. I think most of you or some of you would have heard this word ikigai. So ikigai is something like the purpose. It means the purpose of your life. Okay. So, what is your life goal or what is your life purpose? See, everybody, if you believe in destiny, if you believe in fate, whatever name you call it as, doesn't matter. But the purpose of your life in this world, okay, there should be something, right? You can be an entrepreneur, you can be a trainer, you can be a trainer like me, you can be a psychologist, you can be a engineering, the technical expert, or we call it as SME, subject matter expert, in any industry or any profession that you get onto in the future. But there should be a life purpose for you. Okay, just not coming up to the world and then earning and then leaving. No, there should be a purpose that is defined. So if you could see, that purpose is actually intersection of the four things that you see there. So one is your let's start from the clockwise thing. On the rightmost end you have the mission. Okay, so mission is something like the world needs it or you as a person need it. Okay, so that's nothing but the mission. Okay, next comes vocation. I think most of you are all aware of this. We all get paid when we work, so there is a money factor associated with your mission. So your mission and vocation goes together, where you just do or work as the world needs it. Okay, for instance, if you're getting on to, what do you say, semiconductor industry. Okay, the semiconductor is required for different electronic devices to work. So, you get onto that job, or you get onto that particular organization wherein you work, and then the world, not only, you get paid for your own self, and also you produce the product to the world. I mean, you give that, semiconductor to the world, and the world uses it in different forms. Probably they will use it in their TV or whatever it is, whatever devices that where the product is required, that the world needs it or the market needs it. So your mission and vocation goes hand in hand in that way. Okay. Next, when it comes to vocation and profession. Okay. Vocation is something that, you are put into it, or you are employed in it, or you're doing it. Okay. Which you have got the required skills to do it. Okay. And profession is something you're like great at it. Okay. A combination of these two, profession and vocation, a combination of these two, wherein you get paid for what you are or what the skills that you have. Okay. If you have, completed your electronics and communication in 2 years from now, okay, you can get into even a networking industry. You can get into a telecom industry. Okay, there are so many other industries, not only, basic core electronics that I'm talking about. You can get, as I said, you can get onto IT industry also. Okay, so it depends. It depends on how you are, showing up or showcasing your skills. Okay, so that you get molded for that industry. Okay, and next comes between the profession and the passion. Okay, something like doing for the money, doing for the skills that you have got, it is called the profession. But passion is something like you live for it. Okay, you crave for it. You wanted it, so you're getting into it. I want to get onto coding, so I'm getting into coding. Okay, I want to do this, I will get into this. Okay, something like that. So if you take the case of mine, okay, I did my engineering, and then I was working in different corporate industries. But my passion was equally on the psychology, studying human mind. So that is something passion. So I'm doing both now. So my profession is into IT industry or corporate industry, but my passion is because that I'm a very, I love talking to people. I love reading people's mind. I love, enjoying talking to people with different characters, basically. So that, made me to get onto a psychology. That is something like a passion. So passion and profession can mix up with one another, or they can be, two different channels. Probably, profession onto a different industry, passion onto a different industry. It can be like that also. And when you actually, get onto a passion and then, associate your, profession or your life goal with it, you will start loving it. So all four combinations, passion, mission, vocation, and profession, when it is maintained in a proper balance, that is where your life purpose is defined. So, I have a homework for you all. Okay, I'm not going to come and verify, but then this is something, as I said, called the introspection exercise. Okay, so please do note down if you have a note or a, if you're in any way, you will be sitting in front of a system or a laptop or a desktop, whatever, probably you can note it in the notepad there. Okay, try to tabulate what is your mission, what is your vocation, what is your profession, and what is your passion. Okay, mission in the sense, what is it you wanted to do for the world? Okay, it can be anything. It can be any social service, or it can be even based on your work, whatever it is. Just try to, tabulate that. Okay, mission, what is it you wanted to do in your life? Okay, in 10 years from now. Okay, and vocation is something, what kind of industry are you looking forward to work? It can be anything. Okay, it need not be only IT industry. It can be any technical industry, any other thing that you feel like. Okay, that is the vocation. And profession, what is that you wanted to get into? Okay, what is that, vocation is something, whatever options is available for you. Now, you are all into engineering, you cannot get back to your medicine. Nobody can become a doctor here. Okay, so vocation will talk about whatever available options that you have with your current skills or with your current academic background. Okay, and profession is something, what comes to you really good. Okay, what is like your strength? If you say, for me, electronics was my strength. Okay, and we had a paper called data data networks. Okay, so and I think when I studied, it came as a sixth semester paper, and there was a beautiful book called Frozen. Okay, I still remember the the cover of it. It was a white color cover. I loved that book. In fact, that was the motivation for me to get on to my first company was HCL. I was placed in the campus to HCL, and that data communication and network actually was helping me to get on to the infrastructure services space, which I was not even aware in the past. Okay, I was just thinking software means only development, coding, testing, but I'm the last person to code and test. I'm not that kind of a person. So that one thing, the profession, that was my special skill. I loved getting onto a infrastructure space, remote infrastructure management. That is where I got onto. So profession is something like which you are great at, which you are, you have a very good skill. You are very skilled. Probably, whatever papers that you have written so far, or you have studied so far, you would feel that this is good, this is bad. Okay, so you would have felt like this is my best area, this is my strong area, this is my, I won't say weak area, I would say area of improvement. So, tabulate that strong area as your profession. Next comes the important part, passion. What you really wanted to do in your life. Okay, it can be something related to your profession, or it can be something like me, completely out of the way. Anything it can be. Don't worry about that. But then do that, tabulate what is your passion. Okay, what you really wanted to do. What you wanted to do, something that it can be even a painting. Okay, even that is a passion. Okay, it can be, crochet designing. Okay, it can be, dancing. Okay, or it can be learning a new foreign language, whatever. I'm not saying this or that, but then, you should have something as your passion. Now, tabulate all these four. Okay, so put today's date, or probably, you can call the year 2022, probably Feb or March, and you can tabulate these four. Okay, revisit this list every 6 months. There is a purpose of me telling this revisiting, because our goals change, our thinking changes, our perception changes, everything changes. So you just have to see how has your thought process has changed from 2022 to 2024 when you get out of the college, or when you graduate out of the college. Okay, so do this activity. Okay, there'll be no one to monitor you. Neither of the professors here are going to ask for it, but then it is for your own self exercise, self assessment exercise, or an introspection exercise, where you keep finding for yourself what is the best thing that can suit you. Okay, so that you will know where to go, how to go. Okay, so if you could see that when you do this tabulation, there'll be definitely at least 20-30% of interconnection between all these four things. Okay, so if you could, let me give the example of my life. Okay, so it'll be easy for you to relate when you do this exercise at home. Okay, so mission. Okay, mission, I've always believed that I should give something for the people around me. Okay, I love teaching. I love talking to people. I love to talk. So I love to teach people. I love to make others learn. Okay, so that was my mission. Okay, give something to the society in any form. I was not sure of what form, but then give something to the society was my mission. Okay, so vocation. So when it came to vocation, I took up a corporate job. Okay, but then I slowly got on to, even though I was first in the technical, wherein I was doing a server administration, I actually got on to managing Windows and virtual servers. So VMware, Hyper-V, cloud-based Azure, AWS. I was working on the cloud environment, wherein I was, first initial part of my career, I was there. But I could see that, my calling was not that. What I did was slowly I moved on to a framework designing. Okay, something like a process, setting up a process, definition of a process, standardizing the process, implementation of the process. So I slowly moved on to that, because process and quality, if you could see, it will tell you, it will have the defined framework there, and it will tell you how to do. So I basically went on to that, framework where it says, and then I moved to that particular team, wherein I started, inculcating, or I started imparting to people what needs to be done. So in turn, I started training people, or I started teaching people that this is not the right way, this is the right way. So in turn, my vocation and mission matched. Okay. Next, coming to the profession. Okay. So that is something very similar. Okay. So, in corporate industries, I know when I start, even though I was in a very technical, server, working as a server administrator or whatever it is. Okay. When I moved on to this process and quality, I started also looking for implementing best practices across the departments or across the organization. So when it came to implementing the best practices, when they lacked guidance, again, I was also imparting them. And parallelly, I could not make everybody obey or not everybody follow whatever I say. Okay, they all resisted because they were all, following all these well, they were all following some different methodology. So when I came into the organization, I said, no, do like this, do like that. When I started telling that, that kindled their ego. So they actually started, no, I won't do this, I won't do that. They actually started fighting with me. So I wanted to read people's mind, okay, so that, I position in such a way that, I should do like this, the way, romba arrogant, romba adamant, we should tell it in a very polished way so that so that they understand it really well. Okay. So like that, people who are like, who agrees to whatever I say, to them, I should tell it in a very different way. So in order to bring my thought into the business, so I started, I wanted to understand different people's mind. So that was actually one of the core, okay, or one of the key for me to go for psychology. So I specialized in psychology, which in turn became my passion when I started pursuing it. So if you could see all my mission, vocation, profession, and passion, in some or the other way, it gets linked. So now I try to find a life purpose around these four. Of course, I have found it after 35 plus years of life, but then I keep revolving around this four because that is my area, or that is my strength, or that is what I wanted to do. So similarly, you also start tabulating that, which will actually tell you where you're going, which will actually tell you what you're supposed to do. And then you can find your path. That will be the best exercise for you to do. So keep doing this, keep revisiting every often. See, 6 months is what I'm giving as a maximum time period. You want to visit even every month, you can, because every day our thoughts change. Whenever we meet new people, whenever we hear different things, our thoughts change. So we are, we are like, you all know that our, we all came from monkeys. So thoughts keep changing. So we all jump from here, there, it happens every time. So just see how the pattern of your thinking is. So you will know where should you end up to. So find your ikigai or purpose of life, the red box that you see in the center, that shows your ikigai. That is your quest, or that is your life purpose. And that is what is going to tell you what you're going to do in your life. Okay, let's move on. I hope I have, made you all clear on this. To the next slide, sir. Mohan sir, next slide. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. Fine. Okay. We'll go one by one, sir. So see,
Yes.
how to, I just told you, you have to do on, a self-assessment now. Okay. So now that I will give you 6 important parameters to rebuild yourself. Okay. Now that, see, I guess you must be all around 20 years old, 19, 20, 21 in this age group. Okay. So, in order to, it is not that you're bad or something, but, to align yourself to the competitive world these days. Okay. So you have to rebuild yourself. So that is why I've called it as rebuild. Okay. So you've all grown. So you cannot come again from your, be a small baby and then growing up. So you're just going to mold yourself as per the corporate world. So you have to remember this acronym. It is VITALS, basically. Okay. So V stands for values and beliefs. So what is this value or belief? Okay. See, we all come from different kinds of families, wherein the families have different sets of practices, different sets of belief, way of doing things. Everything, differs because we have been brought up by different kinds of people, I mean, different kinds of parents. So our parents, parents, grandparents, or whatever it is. So based on that, our value system or belief system will be set up. So, you just mold yourself according to the value that you believe. Okay. You need not align as per your friend's value or as per your, as per the value of, your friend or your neighbor or whatever it is. What you believe is right. Just go ahead with your belief. That is very, very important. Okay. So the next one, I. Sir, I, please. Yeah. So next is your interest and passion. Look for this quest. Okay. Look for this passion. So you will have interest in, for instance, in ECE itself, electronics and communication itself, you would have studied so many subjects there or so many papers there. Okay. But your interest will be in a group of subjects or probably in a single subject where you would want to specialize or you want to explore more. Okay. So find out that interest or find out that passion. Okay. That will make you grow like wow. Okay. That will make you come up in a very flying color. So bring that interest or bring that passion into your life. Your life, whatever it is, whatever graduation you do, whatever course that you study. Okay. Somewhere it has to go with your interest. Somewhere it has to see, not all the 64 papers or even more will be your complete interest. But then at least 5 or 6 or at least 2 or 3 will definitely be your best interest or it will suit you or it will be, where you will be so passionate there. So find out that particular thing where you're so much interested about. Next goes for T, which is nothing but temperament or attitude. Your temperament or attitude matters a lot. It does not only help in learning, when you talk with others or when you learn. Okay. See, when you, as I said, now you all have a very different set of life. Okay. You go onto the college environment, the professors there, they teach you, they help you learn concepts. All these are very, very much regular. Tomorrow, when you get onto that external world, okay, then there are so many people competing to, come up in life. So how do you establish yourself or how, what attitude you will put forth to learn the things from the people around you or to learn things from the world around? So keep always a constructive attitude, meaning a positive attitude. Okay, so that you keep on learning. See, there is no stop to learning at all. Okay, till the end of your life, you have to keep learning, and you should always have that positive attitude. Only then you can learn. Okay, the more your attitude, because as per your psych, I mean the mind. Okay, if your attitude supports you, automatically your cognitive skills, I mean the learning skills, it will automatically increase. If you could see, when we are kids, okay, we actually, the kids have more power to learn than us. If you could see, people moving from one area to another area, for example, people who move from Bombay to Chennai or Chennai to Bombay, whatever it is, the kids there will quickly learn the local language compared to their parents. They'll, in no time, they'll pick the language, the local language, whatever. If it's, he's from Mumbai, okay, they'll quickly pick Tamil. Whereas the parents will struggle to talk Tamil. Vice versa. When, people move from Chennai to North India, the kids will pick up the language in no time because the cognitive skills are more for kids and it is less for adults. Because as age grows, our ego stops us from learning. Because what happens there is you're all afraid. Okay, if we go, talk probably in the wrong language or the wrong word, will someone mistake us? That some sort of a fear stops us in learning or exploring. Okay, unless you keep your attitude right, your learning curve stops there. Okay, let's move on to the next one. A stands for assertiveness. So assertiveness, what is assertiveness? So you have to talk firmly and fairly. Whatever you wanted to put forth, you have to put forth that firmly. Otherwise, you'll be taken for granted. You will be exploited because you're just one another in the old world. Okay, unless you put forth your feelings or unless you put forth your opinions, nobody wants to hear from you. From your parents will hear, or your grandparents will hear, your family members will hear. But out in the world, you are just one another person. So unless you voice out, or unless you put forth your opinions clearly and confidently, nobody is going to hear you. That is a very major characteristic that each one of us must acquire. Next, life goals. L stands for life goals. So wherein you attain. So the next one, sir. Mohan, sir. Yeah. So the next one is about the life mission or the meaningful goals that you have got for your life. How are you going to achieve? So that is why I taught you the purpose, the ikigai in the previous slide. So that is what is going to tell you what is your purpose of life or what is your goal. Please note that goal keeps changing. It is not fixed. It can never be fixed. So today we will like one thing, tomorrow we will like one thing. It's just obvious. It keeps changing. But how do you tune yourself into the changing goal matters a lot. What kind of skills you acquire to achieve that goal matters a lot. So if you want to learn, if you want to drive a car, that is your goal. Okay, in 6 months from now, you have to drive a car. The skill that you need to attain is driving skill. Okay, after 6 months, car driving will change to something else. Probably you want to go into car racing. So at that time, again, you upgrade your skills. So your goals keep changing and you have to tune your skills to, fit to the or to align with the changing goals. Last is nothing but analyzing your strengths and weakness. Very, very important thing. I think most of you would have been aware of this SWOT analysis. Analyzing your strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat. Okay, so you have to know what is your strength and what is your weakness. Weakness in the sense area of improvement. I will never call weakness. I will call only area of improvement. Okay, so you have to keep analyzing that and place your goal in such a way that it copes with both your strength and weakness, so that you grow and grow and grow. That is the thing. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so these are the 4 communication styles that you may get to see and you may face, or you may you would have faced. Not only in the future, but also you would have faced. Probably when I talk to you about it, you will be able to relate it pretty well. Okay. Before I move on, Mohan, do you mind if I take 5 more minutes extra? Probably can we end it by 7:35?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay. So the first one you see on the right top corner by clockwise, the passive aggressive. Okay. So actually, when you talk with, there are different strategies that you would have followed. Okay. There's a different communication styles that you would have, heard about, or you would have, faced also. Okay. So when we usually get onto this business negotiations or, any talks, any discussion, whatever it matters. Okay. There is always 2 or more parties that is involved. Okay, so we have one party, party 1 and party 2, meaning 2 people or more than 2 people, they talk. Okay, so there are different strategies that these 2 people do when they talk, be it in daily life or be it in business life, whatever it is. Okay, so it will actually, any of discussion that you could see, it will fit in any of these 4 communication styles that you see. The first one being passive aggressive, second one being passive, third one being aggressive, and fourth one being assertive. Okay, so let me just tell you what are these 4 styles and then tell you what you need to do. Okay, so first is passive aggressive. Passive aggressive is something like, people with 2-faced thoughts, meaning, in front of the person who is always disagreeing. Okay, when there is a conflict between party 1 and party 2. Okay, so, when it happens, you would face this. Okay, so probably, I'm not sure. Like a few of us would have, they would have been interested to study something else, but they would have landed up here. Okay, being in engineering or something like that. Okay, if you, probably in the more, when your parents ask you, okay, you want to do engineering, then probably you would have first told, no, I want to do something else, A, B, C, something else I wanted to do. I want to do some fashion designing, or I want to do something else, being a dietitian, nutritionist, whatever it is. Okay. But then your parents would have told you, no, engineering is a good one. And then, because of your parents' compulsion, you would have landed up in engineering. There is a possibility. It's nothing wrong. Okay. And your parents also not wrong, and you're also not wrong. But what happens here is, just because you were not actually interested in engineering, but then you had to agree to your parents, okay, and then get on to engineering, and probably you are in the second year of engineering now. Okay. So in front of your parents, when they asked you for option, you just acted as though you're okay with it, but actually you were not okay. You wanted to do something else. Okay. So this is something like, we call it as a lose-lose strategy, because not everybody, get onto this lose-lose strategy. It is more applicable in the business strategy, where, just for the namesake, they agree in the front and then do a backbiting at the back. In front of you, they will talk all sugary words, all sweet words they will talk. And then when they, move on, they talk bad, behind your back, which is very, very bad, right? So, you should not fall a prey to all those things. Okay. So that is called the passive aggressive style, which eventually, what happens there is they will try to pull you down, because they are going to talk bad about you. In front of you, they will talk all good words. But at the back of you, when they backbite or when they talk ill about you, which means that they are trying to pull you off. So that is called as passive aggressive style, wherein you tend to lose in the long run. The next one is the passive style. Okay, passive in the sense like, here what happens is the opponent party wins. You just agree to whatever the opponent says. You just nod your hand, and then whatever the other person says, the other person keeps going on. It happens mostly in the corporate world. Okay, so I'm just giving you an headsight to you, insight to you all. Okay, it always, they just take you for granted, and then they take their own decisions, and when they ends up wrong, they'll put the blame on you. Okay, at that time, you should be bold enough to step up for you. Otherwise, you're going to end up in a mess. So passive is, again, a loose strategy for you. Okay, you're going to be exploited by someone else. Third one is aggressive. You could see the picture right there. Each one is holding the collar of the other. They are almost in the fighting mode. Okay, so each one will fight with each other. And what happens is, the end of the day, it's only argument. Nobody gains anything, or nobody, gets a good result, or nobody gets profitable, or nobody is benefited. It is just a bad experience, or people each other calling an unparliamentary words, or scolding, beating, all these physical actions, all this happen. End of the day, no result. So which is again a losing strategy. Okay, the last one is assertive. As I said, it is going to be a win-win strategy, because when you feel that someone is exploiting you, or when you feel that you're just taken for granted, okay, you rise up and then talk for yourself. You express for yourself. You say, yes, I like this. I want to do this. I want to do that. Okay, I would like to do this. This is what I propose. This is what I recommend. This is what I suggest. Okay, all these are called as assertive. Just because you don't agree to someone, you're not bad. You're just expressing your view, or you're just expressing your opinion. Only this will make you win in the long run. Okay, let me move on. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is something very, very good technique to, have assertiveness in place. So it's called a SRM technique, which was actually coined by me, this acronym. You won't be able to find in the Google and all. Okay, this is something that you got to follow in your daily life and as well as in your future life. So I thought that, this is a very key thing to be given to the students at this point in time. Okay, so how do you establish yourself in the market? Very, very important thing, because you're going to go out in the market in 2 years from now, and you're going to have a place for you, and show that, yes, I am capable of things. So that is where it is very, very important. So SINNS. So you could see that the 3 letters in between are in blue color font, okay, which means that it is for your own self or your own close beings, meaning You can apply them in your family, in your close friend circle, whatever. Okay. The remaining S and S that you see in the red one, that you can apply it for the external world. Okay. So just let's quickly go through one by one. So F stands for fogging. Okay. So we all know, right? Fog is something, we all see in the morning. Actually, it's a beautiful thing that we see in the morning. Okay. So, it looks like a big white giant in front of us. But, if you just go through, okay, it's actually nothing. You don't see anything to hold, or you don't see any big rock-like thing in front of you. Okay. It is just a thing is there, but it is not there. Eppdina irukku ana illa. Something like that. Right? So you just move through that. Okay. Irukku illa. Okay. Ana, when you pass through, okay, there is nothing. That is called fogging. Okay. So many times in your life, you would have faced this. பெரிய பிரச்சனை வர மாதிரி இருக்கும். ஆனா just you facing that confidently will actually make you sail through the problem. Easier problem cross பண்ணிடுவீங்க. That's called fogging. That is something like it looks in front of us. It is not dangerous, or it is not going to kill you. But then அது அப்படியே மேகமூட்டம் சொல்லுவாங்களா, it will just wash away, or it will just vanish away. Okay. So only thing that is required is your confidence to face the fogging. So that is called the fogging. Okay. The second thing is I statement. Okay. Which is called the self-disclosure statement. Okay. Which tells I feel this. I feel that. I need this. I need that. You are expressing your wish, your purpose, or your liking towards something. You need not be afraid that others will think you bad, or others will take you back. That level of fear need not be there. Okay. You can always express yourself freely. Let's go on to the next one. N. Click next slide, sir. Next, click, sir. Yeah. Yes. Negative inquiry. Okay. This negative inquiry is something like when there is a problem, you dig deep into it and then find what is the problem, what is the cause, what is actually causing the problem. That is called negative inquiry. Okay. You deep dive into it, and then you find out the root cause, try to fix the cause, and then solve the problem. That is called the negative inquiry. Next one, which is a very big technique, even though it looks very simple, but then most of us lack this technique, learning to say no. Okay. We should have this into practice, learning to say no, because most of us, we just try to please others, just, by seeing them, or, by making you, we all feel that by saying no, it means that we are making others hurt. No, it is not like that. You're just only saying no to the request put forth by others. If I'm going to come to you and ask, please, can you lend me, 1 lakh rupees tomorrow? Okay. Without even knowing me as a person, how will you just give me a money? You will just only say that, no, I don't have that much account in my, that much money in my account. I can't help you this time. I'm sorry. No, I'll not be able to help you. So, saying no, you're not saying no to me as a person. You're only saying no to my request. Okay. So always learn to say no, which is very, very important. Next is negative assertion. Accepting the mistake. You have done a mistake. Yes, I accept, and I will correct it. That is the right attitude to take through. Otherwise, it is not going to work. If you have done a mistake, you have to accept and take it forward, which will automatically make you work through the solution, or think through the solution and work it out. That will help you come out of the issue. Okay. Next, last one is the stuck or the broken record. The stuck or broken record is something you keep on reiterating. I think I would give a best example of this Eureka Hope, guys. I think எல்லாருமே பார்த்திருப்பீங்க, எல்லா வீட்லயும் அந்த Eureka Hope வந்து தட்டுவாங்க. They keep on knocking us. We'll go to the extent of saying, சரிப்பா, ஏதோ ஒரு டெமோவாது கொடுப்பா, ஓகேப்பா அப்படின்னு சொல்லி we will tell. Okay. When the moment he enters our house and gives a demo, he initiates the sales. Okay. He will make us buy that vacuum cleaner or whatever product that is there. So he keeps on reiterating about the product, or he keeps on reiterating what is required there. So similarly, reiterating certain stuff will also make us assertive. But you should be very careful. You should not make the other person annoyed. Sometimes this Eureka Hope guy, they annoy us. So you should ensure that you don't annoy the other person. But follow this FINS technique in your own life, personal life or professional life, so that you'll be able to easily manage and get through any conflict in your life. Whatever conflict comes into you, be it professional or personal life, you will easily able to get it out. Okay, to the next slide. So what barriers do we have to communicate? Okay, so when I started the session, I asked a few of you, like, what is the animal? And everybody, they were not able to open it up. The only reason is that fear. You were all afraid that what would Pavithra think, or what would the other professors think? What if people make fun of me in the bridge? So break open that fear. If that fear is going to drive you, you will not be able to grow. Leave off the criticism. Don't just worry about the criticism. It's okay. People whoever has grown up today, okay, they have been under so many criticisms, so many negative criticisms. Let people criticize. That is not going to matter. But you should not have that fear, and you should feel confident. Okay, when you speak, when you put forth your points, or when you give your thoughts. Okay, when you lack that self-confidence, it is not going to take you anywhere. You should be self-confident in whatever you're talking. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Ego, very important thing. As I said, most of the time the ego hurts us. That's why our learning curve has dropped. We grow as adults. The ego is the important thing. Why should we learn? What am I going to gain? So all these things will pull us down. The next one. So can I click them? Yeah, the values and culture. Okay, how this value and culture? Because what happens there is, we all have, if I talk in front of everyone, will they think that I'm disrespecting them? Or, if I'm going to voice out to elders, will they think that I'm an adamant girl? Or will they think that I'm, very dominative? Will they think that I'm, super overconfident? All these, are brought as values to us. Okay, it is not at all wrong to express yourself. It is nowhere in any culture it has been told that when you express yourself, it is wrong. Then main thing is perception, your thinking process or your thought process. It is all that guides you, that makes you, not to communicate or not to talk or not opening up in front of others. So all these, you have to pull it down so that you also have to break open all these barriers. Remember the chick coming out of the shell? So all these 5 bubbles or ovals that you see here, these are all the shells that you have to break open and come like that chick. Okay, let's move on. Next slide. Yeah, so these are, I think Emily Koo, I think the Steve Jobs, I think most of you would be aware. Emily Koo is a French psychologist. So he has, he has been reading, he is like expert in reading the human mind. So the main thing that he always says is that, which I too really believe as a person, is every day in every way I'm getting better and better. So this one particular thing is actually the key for your ikigai, okay? So, or your life purpose. I remember talking to you about your mission, vocation, profession, and passion. So that will keep changing every day in every way. And that will find your quest. What is the purpose of your life? Or what is ikigai for you? Okay. So, and Emily Q says that, okay, so follow Emily Q, and, always be positive in saying that, you are always getting better in the way that you were when you're 1 year old, the way that you were when you're 10-year-old, the way that you are when you're 20-year-old. Everything has changed. Probably when you go talk to your parents, they will know how much have you gone through. Everybody can write an autobiography. Why only take Gandhi's or whatever? Everybody can write an autobiography, can talk about their life. We get to learn so many experiences. Use all those experiences as a learning curve to understand your life. That is important. What Steve Jobs says, I'm not sure if how many of you have iPhones. Okay, when iPhone came, it was very small in size. Okay, and people started criticizing Steve Jobs. What, it is too small? How are you going to rule the world? All these things. How are you going to make a revolution in the smartphone? But actually speaking, he when as long he was alive, He stuck to that small model of smartphone wherein he was able to bring everything under the world, everything under that small smartphone. Okay, but if you could see the other models, okay, at that time itself, they started making big screens. When he was able to achieve the same others were actually, making big screens. Steve Jobs was able to achieve the same purpose with a small thing. Okay, so that is where he stands out today. But after his days, I think people know even Apple company has changed the model. Now the screens are quite big compared to the other thing. But then he has always told that others should not lead your life, or others things, others thinking, or others words, others actions should not take your life. You are the one who is going to be driver for your life. You are going to drive your life. So the other external noise should not disturb you at any cost. So let's move on to the next slide. Okay. Next click, sir. See, there are so many paths that you could see here. This is how your life path is going to be. Okay. You're going to discover yours. Next click, sir. Yeah. So you're going to discover yours. Whatever the path that you see here can be misleading, okay, can be confusing you. It can be very common or very much aligning. But then there'll be definitely a unique path. Always believe in that. Okay. See, there are so many. Every year we all know that 72,000 engineers. I'm just giving a rough number here. Please don't take it as the exact number. So almost like every year we have 70,000 engineering graduates come out. But then everybody has got their own life path. But whatever that life path is, you have to choose based on the skills that you acquire, based on the capability that you have acquired. Everybody has got their own capability. Everybody has got their own strength. Keep working on your ikigai. Okay, that only will tell you where to go. Should I take right? Should I take left? Should I take a U-turn? Okay, always see, remember one thing, at any point in time, your life can change. Okay, at any point in time, it can show you that this is your path. Okay, I think most of you, probably people from outside states would not, out of Tamil Nadu would not know who is Rajini, or probably if you know, then we are all lucky there. Okay, when Rajinikanth, when he actually found his quest when he was 40 years old. Okay, so I don't really believe in this goal setting. Okay, so many such achievers, marvelous achievers, okay, they have found their path only in the later stages of life. It is not wrong. So keep searching for your life. There should be something, there should be a light or an enlightenment that definitely waits you. Never lose your confidence, because your confidence is like your sword or your shield to fight in the battle. So if you lose your confidence, if you lose your sword, or if you lose your shield, you will not be able to stand in the battle. So have that very much steady. Whatever enemy comes or whatever rival comes in front of you, ensure that you have this sword and the shield, which your confidence and your skills. Okay, that will help you to sail through wherever there are conflicts or wherever there are issues. Okay, I wish you all the very best in life. Okay, and never ever worry about anything, or never ever feel that I have not got this, or I'm not good at this. No, somewhere you are excellent. Somewhere you have done a great job, where you have landed in a beautiful profession, in a very beautiful place now. Okay, take this as a challenge. Take this as an opportunity to learn and build it from here. It's a beautiful world. Build it up from here. Okay, but that is possible only with your confidence and and your guts to move forward. So this is all from my end. All the best to you all. Over to you, Mohan sir and Amali.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Amali, ma'am. Yeah.
Pavithra, this is Suhasini.
Yeah.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
It was a very excellent presentation, full of energy. Very happy to see you to present like this. Nice to
Yes, Pavithra.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I'm actually so much privileged, to be in this forum wherein I could see so many role models, especially Subhashini ma'am. So, I loved her when I was, when I was there. I mean, still I love her, but she's always been my source of inspiration. I always, whenever, I look up to, I always, whenever I pass our college, whenever I go via, I used to think of only Subhashini ma'am. So, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Pavithra. I was so
Okay.
happy that you are accepted to present a session that was so energetic. Very happy to see you like this.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. It's a privilege. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a formality. I said to thank for vote of thanks to Pavithra ma'am and our college. Thank to our management, principal, vice principal, HOD of ECE, and staff members and the coordinator to given this good opportunity and made our alumni Ms. Pavithra to give for the very good experience and enhance for the student life. So like rebuild communication style, barrier to communicate, inspiration, all it's going to be useful to our student. Please use to our senior, your alumni, what they are going to say, you must try, because of nowadays we have the lot of engineer came out, so you also make to unique for yourself. Thank you to our alumni, Miss Pavithra. She is good, giving the good enthusiasm as well as motivation to our junior student, is a second year EC student. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, our alumni Pavithra ma'am. Thank you to all. Thank you, students.
Thank you,
Thank
Mohan.
you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pavithra, for your enthusiastic and inspiring speech.
Thank you, Amali ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Sir, just a small request.
Yes.
I would actually want the feedback from the students, good
Yes.
or bad, whatever, it doesn't matter, because it helps me to, do a learning on my thing also. It's a
Yes, ma'am.
learning for me also. So any clarifications or any queries, probably I can share my email ID to you, sir. You can pass
Yes,
it on
yes.
and they
Yeah,
can
yeah, I
get in
will
touch
pass.
with me. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
So that I'd be so happy to help them in any possible way that I can. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I will pass the student to your mail ID. Oh, sure.
Sure, sure, sir.
Thank you.
Sure. That's great.
Thank
That's
you.
great.
Thank you.
Thank you
you.
all. Thank you,
Thank
Subhashini
you.
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Pavithra. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mohan sir. Thank you,
Thank you,
Amali.
ma'am. Thank you.
Mohan sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Shall we wind up the session?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.